Welcome to Salt, or welcome to a very short Salt. Sort of short. I don't know.
It's short.
It's short.
Yes.
Welcome to a short. It's gonna be a pinch of salt, not the whole
Yes.
heaping tablespoon of salt, just a pinch of salt.
Yes, because we were traveling the last couple Sabbaths and
Yes. We've been traveling a
we
lot.
we had stuff, but then there was just no place or time to do it.
We had stuff, and then many stuff things happened, and never a chance. So we kept meaning to. We kept saying we are going to, and yeah, never got a chance. So we thought we'd do a really, really short one because we're going to talk about that. And I have pictures and video to show you, but they're not put together yet. So the
Right.
next Salt you will have pictures and
Yeah,
video.
which makes this one truly short.
Truly short,
Yeah.
as long as I shut up and let Miranda talk. So here we are, back from our trip, and it's Miranda.
Okay, so first of all, well, we started our trip off well, here
Yeah.
from home, of course, but then we drove off to Tallahassee, Florida.
Yes, we went to Tallahassee, passing through Mississippi and Alabama.
Yeah, and I don't really eat out. Um, and so I took some stuff with me, except once we got to Tallahassee, I figured out I didn't have my can opener.
Oh, right.
Yes. So I sent Brett into the store.
Yes, because Brett's meals don't require a can opener. They usually require unwrapping the Burger King
Yes.
Junior Whopper.
Yes. So, anyways, he went and he got a can opener. It was a lovely shade of red.
They only had red and black, and I thought, Miranda's going to want red.
Yeah.
That's going to be the color to get.
Yes, so he brought it back and I used it and it was a great little can opener. But in the meantime, before I could use it, you know how when you buy those kind of things, they have those twisty tie things on there that you
Oh,
cannot undo by hand. And so, lucky for me, I had a little pair of scissors in my purse. Now, I don't just take them for when we travel. They always ride around in the little zippered pocket in my purse for just such occasions. And you know what? These aren't fancy scissors. They aren't some fancy little folding travel scissors or anything like that. Fact is, Aspen's going to be 19 here in about a week. I probably bought those scissors back when she was like 6 or some such thing because they're just those little kid scissors, you know. And so got those things out and I snipped those little twisty tie things. And Brett was watching me and he was like, I want to use those because he had a little project himself.
I was going to say, I needed scissors, and you said, I've got just the thing, and you had those scissors, but I don't remember what it was for.
Oh no, it wasn't the scissors that time. It was that little pocket knife that Colby gave me.
Oh, okay.
That you used as more like a little screwdriver
Oh,
thing. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. So he had to scrape some plastic off of something.
Oh, right, yeah, it was the
Yeah.
tripod head. But yes, scissors.
Yeah. So the point is, I was prepared.
You were prepared.
Yes, I was prepared.
Well, you were prepared with the other two, so
Yes, the other two.
double prepared.
Yes. Yes. But the other one I was only prepared because Colby gave them to me.
Yeah.
So, anyways, I occasionally listen to a sermon. Actually, usually every week I listen to a sermon from someone that I know or anyone, any number of people that, I know I've listened to their stuff before. And so I'll listen to it and enjoy it. And recently, some people have said to me, hey, you got to watch this person because they have some really good stuff to say. Or maybe that person over there. And so I've watched a handful of things recently that I wouldn't ordinarily watch. What I found very interesting was that they didn't necessarily follow exactly what the Bible had to say and what they were saying. It was close, but sometimes it was taken out of context, or it just wasn't what the Bible had to say. And so, yet people told me, hey, you need to watch this because it's really, what they have to say is so good. And the point I'm trying to make here is that we need to be prepared for ourselves personally with what the Bible says. Otherwise, we don't know that. And we listen to stuff and we think, wow, that's so great. When in reality, maybe there's a really good speaker, really fun person. And yet, what they're saying doesn't entirely align with what the Bible has to say. And so if we read the Bible for ourselves and study it for ourselves, then we are prepared for whenever we might need to have those words of God. And it comes in handy for more things than that. The words of God come in as good for all sorts of things.
Yeah. I remember listening to radio broadcasts, like sometimes when I'm looking for an NPR station, or I'll just talk radio and I'll run across. A lot of times you hear the religious station broadcasting a sermon or a talk or something, and I'll listen for a little bit, and just, I don't know how many times I sit there and I think, oh my word, that is not what that says. That is not what that story's about, or that is not what that passage means. And it's where people have really taken something and made it what they want it to be. They've got a point they want to make, and they've taken something from the Bible and they've used it in a way that it's out of context to make it say what they want it to say. And I wonder sometimes how many people listen just because they think, well, these people know what they're talking about, and yet, it's not. It's more of their opinion. It's almost like what news has gotten to be. News used to be the news, and now it's all commentary and what I think it means. And that's what you get sometimes in these sermons and stuff. It's not straight, this is what the Bible. It's, well, this is what I feel it says, or this is what I interpret it to be. And yeah, that's why it's important to know how to study the Bible and to do it for yourself, so you know for yourself.
Yeah, and which reminds me, you had an interesting experience when we were in Neely, Mississippi.
I did.
Yes.
I had it was a fascinating experience.
It was such a tiny town, like it was mostly just houses there.
Yeah, well, that was McLean. Neely didn't have anything. It had the abandoned gas station, and I think, and it had the churches, but McLean was the one that had the houses.
Have like 4 churches.
Had 4 churches.
But no place to eat.
No, nothing.
No, nothing. No gas station. Oh wait, did they have that post office?
I think they had they had a post office that was open like the McLean post office from 10 to 12.
On like Mondays and Wednesdays or something. Yeah,
that was it. But McLean was the one with the houses. But yeah. What was that?
Oh, you weren't going to tell the story?
Which story?
Where you called the guy because someone gave you the name of the guy to see the house and such. Yeah.
So, all right. Well, so what we were doing was we were out traveling with Gary and Robin Kent. They're from Australia. He has the show, The Incredible Journey, and we're the production team for their Australian TV show. And
sounds so fancy, but it really isn't.
Yeah, it's great. They're great shows. You should look them up. YouTube, The Incredible Journey, Gary Kent. But we were doing 5 different shows for them. They're 30 minutes long because they actually broadcast on TV in Australia, then they upload them to the YouTube. And they're just inspiring stories, true life stories. And this one was of Ed Too Tall Freeman, yes. Okay. Ed Freeman, Too Tall Freeman. And he was a helicopter pilot in Vietnam. If you've ever seen the movie We Were Soldiers, they featured him in the helicopter where they were flying in under heavy fire and taking out wounded soldiers and stuff. And anyway, he was born in Neely, Mississippi, and went to school in McLean, Mississippi. So that's why they were the tiny little nowhere towns. I mean, you don't get more almost well, Neely was a ghost town. McLean is well on its way. Anyway, we were trying to find people who knew where was his house, where was he born, because we wanted to film somewhere where, it was a landmark of his, like this was the house Ed Neely grew up in, or this was the school Ed Neely went to, and or Freeman. Yeah, Freeman. And so no one knew anything, and we actually stopped in the size of. It was kind of humorous. We stopped in McLean, and they were actually having a little town meeting. Just happened when we got there, and so Gary went. I was telling Gary, I said, "Well, they're all over there in the little community building there, and the sheriff's there, and I think they're having a meeting. You could ask somebody." But I told him, I said, "Now, you being from Australia and this being way backwoods Mississippi, you might want me to go with you because I'm not sure how they're going to react to someone who sounds like you. And he promised me, he's like, well, yeah, we'll wait for you. So I went off to shoot a drone shot of the town. And then when I got back, he didn't wait. He already went in and he came back out. And he was like, you need to talk to these people because I didn't understand them and they didn't understand me. And these people have guns. And it was really kind of a culture shock for him. But anyway, nobody really knew. And they said, there's this one guy, you ought to call him. And Murray, was that his name? Murray.
Yeah.
So I called her, and no, Murray was the second guy. The first guy was a relative of Freeman's, and so I called him, and because again, Gary's like, you better talk because I cannot understand their accent, and so I was talking to him, and the guy's, oh yeah, well, he was my great uncle, married, cousin twice removed. That's how by marriage we were related. I didn't really know him, and on. And then he's like, but my brother, he's got all that stuff. He knew him. He collected all the pictures. He had all the information, and he knows everything there is to know about Freeman. And I said, great, yeah. Of course, he died 2 years ago, a couple years ago. And I was like, oh my. And I said, actually, you say somebody, my brother died. I was like, oh, I'm sorry. And he's like, oh, no, it was a great funeral. They had a very nice funeral. Lots of people came. We had chicken. It was wonderful. And I was like, all right, well, good for you. He had a party funeral, and it was very, very Southern. I haven't had that Southern of a conversation since I lived in the South. And anyway, it was funny, but he just went on and on about how that's the guy who knew everything. Oh, and he had all that stuff. That's who you should really talk to. Of course, he died 2 years ago. I'm like, okay.
Yeah. So, anyways, I just found it interesting. Like he wasn't able to share the words because he didn't have them.
Yeah.
And we need to be ready to share the true words of God.
Yes.
Because we have them, and not just hear what somebody else has to say. Because if you don't know, then it may not be true.
Yeah. And it's, truth is always more powerful when you've experienced it. It's one thing to tell somebody something you've heard. It's another thing to tell somebody something you know.
Yes. I had a friend, I talked with her recently, and her father just recently passed away. And she said, before my dad died, I knew people, obviously, whose fathers had died and such. She says, but now it's a whole different thing. Now that my father's passed away, I know. I understand now what that's like.
Yeah, and you can talk on a whole different level. And that's what it's like, sharing truth that you've experienced.
Yeah. And so Psalm 119, 105, your word is a lamp to my feet and a light to my path.
There you go. The very first hit of Amy Grant.
Oh, is it?
That's one of her first hit song, written by Michael Smith, I think, or Michael Card, but one of them did, but recorded by Amy Grant. So a little information for you. So anyway, next time we'll have pictures and video. We went all over the backwoods of Alabama, Mississippi, saw the coast, saw Nashville, Vanderbilt, Pensacola, Tallahassee. Oh my, was it a trip?
It was a trip.
Yes, it was.
A good one.
It was a good trip.
Yes.
Yeah. And more stories from Australians learning what the Southern culture is like. We'll tell you all about that. So anyway, we said we'd keep this short, so thanks for joining us. And we will be here on Sabbath, this next Sabbath. Absolutely, no matter what.
Well, you shouldn't sound that
Well, you feel... We've been doing it for so long. When we miss one, it feels like, wait, something's missing.
Yeah.
So, and then 2 in a row is unheard for us. So we just
we've never missed 2 in a row before. So that's why we're doing it here on Monday.
On a Monday, but anyway, hope you've had a good couple of weeks,